Welcome to Focus on the Falls. I'm John Mercure. We've got one of my favorite shows that we do every year is taking place today because it's about helping so many students, which is, of course, helps their family as well. It's a scholarship foundation. I want to introduce who is sitting up here with me, and then we're going to get into the discussion. Right next to me is Lynn Zindel with the Scholarship Foundation. Good to see you again, Lynn.
Thank you.
Kathy Hazard is here. Kathy, how are you?
Great, thank you.
Good to see you. One of our recipients and one of the bright kids in the district is Jonathan Kanich, who just graduated. Jonathan, good to see you.
Good to see you again.
And the guy who makes it happen is Bob Vitale, the principal here at the high school. Bob, good to see you.
Good morning.
Let's talk about this. Lynn, let's set the stage first and give us some background. Tell us about the Scholarship Foundation. Give us some history of the Scholarship Foundation.
Well, it's thanks to Kathy and Richard Woozencraft, started in 1989, and we have just grown every year since. And at the 1989-90, we gave about 10 scholarships. And this last year, back then was maybe a total of $1,000, $1,500. This last year, the community came together for $460,000.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yes.
How many kids roughly are helped?
135 out of the senior class.
That is absolutely, that's unbelievable.
We had 153 applicants and 135 received scholarships.
Wow. Think about the difference that makes for families. I know my family benefited directly from the Scholarship Foundation. It's two things. It's the money, but it's also the recognition that the community is behind you and what that means.
Right, and the important thing that we always look at as a committee, and Kathy and I have been doing this co-chair for 15, 16 years together since I retired, and our numbers keep growing. I mean, the kids but the money that the community gives and the families, that's the important thing, is the families that have come back and said, we want to help somebody.
So Kathy, Lynn talked about the beginning. Tell me about the growth that you've seen and how that must make you feel, because I know your heart, and it's about helping the community. And from 89 to now, that's the amazing growth story.
And that is the amazing part. And we have other schools and other districts that have come to us and said, how did you do this? Because there's other foundations that are formed to give money for other reasons. Like they come together to do a playground or something as a need. Well, the Scholarship Foundation, all we do is give money for scholarships. So from our humble beginning, again, as Lynn said, we came together to give a scholarship from a fund at a bank that they couldn't hand out. Yeah. They needed a community scholarship. So we formed and started growing. But that went then to family memorials. So people whose they wanted their parents or their child or someone recognized. So we have a memorial list of families.
That's cool.
We have corporations, organizations, everyone that started coming to us. And Lynn and I finally talked and said, you know what? I think we could become the clearinghouse. Yeah. Why should we have all these different forms out there? And let's put something online and let's work with the school and let's simplify, even though it may not look that way with all the paperwork we have, but let's try to bring it together so that there's one source, and that really has worked well and grown every year. Parents and families that sit in the audience will contact us afterwards and say, it may not be a lot, maybe $500, but could I start something?
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Kathy and Lynn are co-chairs of the Scholarship and Educational Foundation. One of the recipients, Jonathan Kanich. Jonathan, tell us about your scholarship award. Tell us what it means to you. Just talk through that a little bit.
Yeah, so I earned the G.A. Daugherty's accounting scholarship. It's for a person who's going into accounting in the future. Next year I'll be majoring in accounting and finance at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. It was a total of $5,000 awarded, so one of the bigger scholarships. It just means a lot. It's kind of a recognition for all the accounting that I've done. I've completed 2 college classes. I mean, amazing business courses here. That's really a credit to the school and the administration here and all the hard work that they've put into helping me.
So $5,000, I mean, that's real money. That is a lot of money. Did you have to apply? When did you find out?
Yeah, so the application process was really easy. It's just a form and then a couple other questions. The committee just kind of wants to know who you are as a person and what you're involved in with the school. And then I submitted that, and I actually didn't know what scholarship I received. I just got an invitation to the scholarship night. And then the night of the award ceremony, I found out when they called out my name, and that was a huge thing. I was very excited.
You know, life has so few good surprises. What a cool thing to be able to experience. That's really, really awesome, and you deserved it. You've worked hard during your years here.
Yeah, we don't want, our donors don't want anybody to know until that night. I will
fun.
email them, and I will send them a letter in the mail inviting them. And just a little background about Jonathan's scholarship. 2 years ago, I got a call from a woman, and she said, my daughter met you in 1997. And I'm like, okay, tell me a little bit more. She said, you were the department chair. I said, yes. She worked at Strong Funds when Strong Funds was in Menomonee Falls, passed away, and left us because of our business program $100,000. So every
That's
year,
amazing.
5 kids are getting $5,000.
That is really, really remarkable.
And we've never had prior communication with this woman, had
Right.
no idea this is
Wow.
what she was thinking. So again, when you talk about memorials and people's forward thinking of what they're leaving,
I thought it was a crank call at first.
Oh my gosh,
I really
yeah,
did.
yeah.
I
Who is
thought,
this? Yeah.
You know, and then she explained a little bit more, and she talked about, she said, yes. She said, I have your business card. And I said, well, I retired in 2007. And she said, well, my daughter had notes on your business card. And so I said, we'd love to take the $100,000. We have a wonderful scholarship program. I met her personally to get the check, and every year I send her the program. She's 91 years old.
Oh my gosh, that gives me goosebumps. That's
You
such
know?
an amazing
So,
story.
But yeah, just some of the scholarships are very, very touching in honor of, you know, families and that have gone through.
Bob, I want to bring you into the conversation. You know, for many families, and one of the things I love about you is you get to know the students in the high school, and you know them and have relationships with them and their families. And you know, for some of the families, this really makes a difference as they're trying to cobble together how to pay for college, which is so expensive. Can you talk about how important the work of the foundation is and the real difference it can make for families?
What they do is amazing for our kids. And I know I speak for all of us. We wish we could do more. But our sole purpose of this foundation is for these kids and to help these parents that, you know, like you just said, are struggling to make sure that they can find the means to send their kids off to college, that really want to go to college and pursue the next piece of their journey in their life. So I'm not that important to this program. I really am not. These ladies are amazing. But I will do whatever I can to help this foundation and help kids, like you said, because that's what this is all about.
So give us some perspective, Bob, when you have communication with families that have received a scholarship or are wondering how they can make their kids' dream come true, and then they get help. What's that like?
Well, I'm just like the kids. I don't know anything either.
Until after the fact.
Lynn gives me a program. I'm like, Lynn, there's no names in here. She's like, I know that. You'll get the names later on tonight. So, but no, when there's been phone calls, there's been emails, there's been notes sent to me stating, thank you so much for the foundation for helping us with the next piece for our students.
That's amazing. This is Focus on the Fall, talking about the Menomonee Falls Scholarship and Educational Foundation. What was the reaction, Jonathan, of your parents?
They were very excited.
I bet they were.
As excited as me.
The decision to go to UW Milwaukee, why are you going there? You're a bright kid. You could have went anywhere. That's a great school. What went into your decision?
It's a great school. A lot of it factors into kind of just being close to home and how expensive college is kind of a cheaper option. And then also getting into the honors program there kind of factored into that.
So were you direct admitted into the honors program?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations,
That's
yes.
fantastic. That's a real honor. Talk to us about the foundation that was laid here in this school district that's allowing you to now pursue your dreams.
The foundation is amazing. I was involved in everything business that I could. FBLA, I'm actually going off to nationals next week.
Wow.
So we're sending 30 kids, so it's a very strong program.
Wonderful.
And then the Business Academy, also involved in that. Just amazing courses, amazing teachers. They're there to support you, you know, all along the way. I had some teachers help me print out all the stuff for the Scholarship Foundation the day it was due and helping me turn it in. So they're just amazing, and everyone here is very helpful, and they really built the groundwork for me to, you know, pursue my dreams and give me these scholarships. And stuff like that.
So take me inside the moment when you're sitting and it's the event and you find out what scholarship you've won. I mean, this is a big scholarship. Tell us what that moment was like.
I was shocked. I really didn't it didn't feel real, you know, with all your friends and you're there in front of the auditorium in front of all those people and you kind of just walk up and I shook Mr. Highmark's hand and I was like, wow, like $5,000, like
Yeah.
that's a huge amount of money for college.
That is absolutely remarkable. Kathy, you do a lot of good things in our community, and a lot of volunteers do one thing and then move on to the next good effort that they want to be part of. This is part of your heart and soul. Why is this so important to you, and you continue to be involved year after year after year?
Well, and it does go back to that idea. I was just going to say the whole foundation within the school and the support that we have. This community supports so much, as you know. But this, we not only support the 4-year, but it's the 2-year, back to the academies, back now to, we have students that are in our alternate quest program that we are really paying attention to, and we're getting more support within the community. You can almost say that don't leave a child behind. I mean, we're reaching out to as many kids, parents, organizations, groups to say, we have this. There is money. We come to the school in February, Lynn and I come, and we speak before the senior class. And we tell them, here it is. Go for it. There is money. There are people that want to support you. So for me, I just can't stop talking about it. So.
Lynn, such a good point that it can be at the flagship university in Madison, it can be out of state, it can be at WCTC or MATC. Why is it important that the foundation reach all those kids and all those families?
Because as an organization, we felt that every child should be able to apply for college. And this year, you know, when we first started, the perception in Menomonee Falls and, you know, having children go through it was only the top 10% get scholarships. We wanted to get rid of that perception because other children needed money too, not just the top 10%. So this year we reached number 1 in the class to number 250 in the class. So we hit it all, and our foundation did $60,000 alone. We did $49,000, $1,000. We do a most improved. Bob and I sit on a committee. We get, which is so important. We get names from student services, we weed it down, we interview 10 kids. 9 times out of 10, we give all 10 $1,000. This year, we had a couple kids that were sick and didn't show up, and we did some Zoom interviews.
Wow.
And those kids, it's the easiest money you're ever gonna make when we interview in less than 10 minutes, getting $1,000 tax-free. And it's just so rewarding to listen to them, to ask them questions and that. And then we have a separate category for career tech. We have kids going into plumbing, you know, you know, if you're doing any post-secondary education besides the 4-year college. So we try to come across. And then the other thing our foundation does too, besides the scholarship, we do $1,000 per building for teachers.
Oh, wow.
So,
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
So we've been doing that quite a while, and so we do $1,000, and the teachers every fall can apply for these mini grants.
Bob, what's it like on that night to look out and you don't know the names either, but you know the families, and to see this unfold?
Number one, I want it to be a perfect night because of how much time they have put into this, Kathy and Lynn. But then to sit back and, I'll be honest with you, with all the lights on, you can't see the reaction of parents, but to see the reaction of our kids. And there's one thing that I need to state about this class. This class is, not because it's my last, is very special, but every one of these kids that received a scholarship said thank you.
Wow.
That to me goes a long way, because there's been a lot of nights up here where it was grab and go back. And every one of our students that received something said thank you. And the other piece with getting all of our kids, I mean, that's one of our pillars in our district, is that we make sure that we're educating all kids. And this foundation follows that pillar of making sure that we're trying to help all kids. So very, very proud of that.
It's remarkable stuff. Lynn, if people want to help, if people want to contribute, if people want to consider their own scholarship, what's the easiest way to get to you?
Contacting me as secretary.
How do they do that?
lzindel@aol.com.
L Zindel, which is Zindel.
No, DL.
DL. Zindl. All right, you do your email.
lzindel@aol.com, or they can call me at 414-651-8681. I take lots of calls, and I love them.
That's awesome. That's a way you can make a difference for our community, for their kids, and for their families. Bob, Jonathan, Kathy, Lynn, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having
Thank you.
us. We
That's
just
great.
Thank you.
are wonderful.
That's Focus on the Falls. Great work. Have a good day.